If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Let's talk about my boy Chance the Rapper, because this dude is hinting at a new album. He gave us more and more hints over the past week, and today I wanted to go over the stuff that we have so far and what this new Chance the Rapper record could bring for us. So let's jump straight into this. So Chance the Rapper, my guy, he's had one of the worst fall-offs in hip-hop over the past 3 years, ever since he dropped his debut studio album. Now you gotta think about that, because this dude has been in the game for such a long time, but he's just been doing mixtapes. But The Big Day dropped in 2019, and people had very high expectations for this thing. I mean, before that, he gave us classics like Acid Rap and Coloring Book, and around that time, 2016, this was like also one of my favorite artists, and everybody that I knew was like into him, and the numbers he was doing on mixtapes was just crazy. Really one of the hottest up and coming, but still taking like a very calculated approach to his career type of rappers out at that time, and a very, just very relatable and sympathetic figure as a person, then also displaying that through his music. So then 2019, The Big Day dropped, and was probably, this was a big disappointment. People were just, already calling it he's gonna fall off, and when you listen to the record, it's really not on par with the stuff that he's dropped before that. So ever since then, people are always comparing artists that are gonna fall off or dropping a bad debut record to Chance the Rapper. Most recently, Roddy Ricch, for example, they're saying he's gonna fall off like worse than Chance the Rapper and stuff like that. But I always had hope in my boy, and he, has been announcing new stuff over the past week. Let's look at the evidence that we have so far for a new Chance the Rapper album, what we can expect from it, and when we might be getting it. So the first hint that we had was about 6 days ago, when he posted this picture to his Instagram of him, looking into a notebook, possibly writing lyrics, or hinting at something new, and the caption was what really, made people really think about that, because the caption reads, "How about a new one in March?" Of course, a new one, immediately you think about a new album. And this is also likely what he meant. It's now been 3 years since The Big Day dropped. And I like that he's taking his time with this record, but at some point he's got to come back and drop something while people are still talking about him, and he still has some chance to revive his career. And people just won't forget about him, and he comes back and does like 10K for his week. Right now, if Chance dropped in March, I think he could still do very well, get a couple of big name features on there, and still do pretty good commercially. So if he does drop this in March, then I do have some hopes for him. Also, another post which a lot of y'all also sent to me that further doubled down on this theory of him dropping in March, and also hinting at a few collaborators and features on this new record, was this new one that only dropped a couple of hours ago, with just the caption March and then like the emoji for, I don't know if this is a book or a Bible, but it's something. And here we can see him actually in the studio working on the album, and we can also see a couple of collaborators. For example, Vic Mensa is in there, someone he's collaborated with in the past already. I think that combo is really, very creative duo that can definitely do something great on a record. And then also another picture, Smino is to be seen, someone who's also been very up and coming in this more like, this very specific lane of hip hop, also associated with Dreamville, for example. And Smino has been making waves for, the past 3 to 4 years as well, and has built a solid fan base around him. So I like that he's collaborating with these types of artists. I'm also expecting to see some more big name features on here. I mean, that's just his only hope, to somehow do well commercially, because I don't know how many people are still going to tune in after The Big Day just to listen to these more, fan exclusive tracks that people are excited for example, Vic Mensa. But if he really wants to have a hit, I mean, he had that song with Justin Bieber, Holy, that went pretty big, and that he was on in, what was it, 2021, 2020, something like that. So it's not like, he's completely out of the conversation. But if he himself wants to have a hit like Holy, just under his own name, he needs to have somebody bigger on the album. Of course, he could also do that solo, but as I said, I'm not sure how willing the just, the average listener who's not like a, Chance the Rapper fan, is willing to listen to this new record just trackless of himself. I'm not saying that artists need big features on their records. I'm just saying in the situation that Chance is in right now, where he really needs to come back with something that grabs the listener's attention, that could really be helpful in this specific situation. But of course, the album itself should rely on a lot of solo, just great tracks, and I hope that those will also be found on here, no doubt. So as it's looking right now, he's gearing up to release in March. I think March is a great month to release in. Summer is not starting yet, but it's around springtime, and then once the album really comes to fruition, people have been listening to it a month or two, it'll be summer, and especially, the music Chance the Rapper makes can really have that summer feel to it, at least if he's connecting, to what he's done in the past. So I do think that releasing around springtime is a very good idea for Chance the Rapper. Of course, March is already today, starting today, so there are, a lot of Fridays in March left for him to drop, 4 to be exact. We have Friday the 4th, the 11th, 18th, and then also the 25th, because the Friday after that is already April 1st. So those 4 Fridays are in the conversation for Chance to drop in. I do expect him to drop later on in March. I think for him to drop, already this week would just not make a lot of sense. I think we'll get, a big announcement before that, maybe a single as well. He's not been very active releasing singles either. He's dropped that one freestyle last year that I can remember in around springtime as well. But other than that, he's not really been active putting out singles or hopping on features. So I don't think it'll be this Friday. Maybe this week we'll get like an announcement, maybe, cover art, not track list yet, but a single on Friday, and then I'm guessing the 18th or the 25th. I'm guessing for him to drop later on in the month, because he wouldn't just announce this and then out of the blue drop it. That's just not the position he's in right now, that he can afford to really do that, because he needs to really come back with, a great record that people are going to listen to. And then I think in the week before the 18th, we will get a track list. But of course, once all of that starts happening, track list, cover art, announcement, all of that, I'll always be here to update y'all. So if you want to stay up to date with this new Chance the Record album, make sure you're subscribed. We also don't know what this new album is going to be called yet. I guess that's also something that he'll announce over the coming days. But he's been getting active on his Instagram again, posting stories and just posting stuff as in, in terms of pictures and stuff like that. So it seems like we're in the process of getting more and more information on this, and the title will also be one of the details that will be revealed probably as we get closer to the release date. So Chance the Rapper teasing a new album dropping in March. We have 4 Fridays available. I'm guessing it's going to be the 18th or the 25th, and before that, maybe this week on the 4th or next week on the 11th, we will get a single. Of course, that is just my theory on this. We don't know actually what's up with this so far. For that, we're going to have to wait for official confirmation from him. But I want to know what you think about this. Are you excited for Chance the Rapper to come back? Do you think he'll be able to commercially, come back and revive his career? What do you think about him collaborating with Vic Mensa and Smino on this new album? What do you hope to hear on this new record? And when do you think it's going to drop? And how do you think the announcement and rollout for this whole thing will work? All of that, let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.